Hey guys, welcome back to Chaos Core Tech. My name's Garrett, and today's co-host is Rock Slime. Everybody say hi to Rock Slime. This was just sent to me by YouTube's own 3D printing nerd, so Joel, high five. He printed this on his G-Max. I'm super jealous of that printer, but it's huge, and I absolutely love it. So, thank you, Joel. And make sure you go check out the video where he printed this out. I'll put a link in the description. Okay, so today I have a Halloween tree for you, and I know what you guys are thinking. What's a Halloween tree? Well, I'm going to show you today, and actually this is something we've been doing all year long. We've just kept our Christmas tree up and redecorated it for the different holidays using 3D printed items. Now, I did get a little bit busy in the summer months, so I did not get around to doing a 4th of July tree. But I did do an Easter tree and a Valentine's Day tree and then a Christmas tree before that. So if you want to see any of those, I'll put links to the videos up in the corner. And those should give you a pretty good idea of what we're doing here today. For this Halloween tree, we decided to amp it up a little bit and make it a Gears of War themed tree. My wife and I are both huge fans of Gears of War, and so we wanted our Halloween tree to reflect that. All of the trees we've had have had string lights around them. These are just your typical like Christmas lights that you see on people's houses and stuff like that, and just have those tiny little bulbs. And basically what I do is I take transparent PLA filament, like you can see right here, and just put a little hole in there that is the size of those bulbs. So these just slide over the top of those bulbs, and they're light enough that they stay there without needing to glue them or anything like that. So you just slide them on, they stick, and then the light shines through red in this case. I actually didn't have to print any more of these. We used these for the Valentine's Day tree and had them left over, so I just used them for this one as well. But you can do this in just about any color that you find transparent filament in. What I did actually print for this was the Crimson Omen from Gears, and as you can see on the back, it's basically got one of these light toppers on it. It's just got the Crimson Omen on the front as well. And I'll show you a little video clip of this. When the light is in there, it actually spreads pretty nicely throughout this thing, and it looks really cool. So I just printed off a bunch of these things and threw them around the tree, and it's pretty surprising how few of these it takes to change the overall feel of the tree, because our current tree has 500 bulbs on it, so I definitely did not print 500 of these things. I probably printed around 20 things total, and just spread them around the tree, evenly distributed, and it starts to feel like it gives off red light. Then on top of that, I printed these little plaque style things. This one has a mulcher and has the word grind, and people who have played Gears of War know that there's a character that carries around this gun and pretty much only says grind. I also have another one that has a boom shot on it and says boom. And basically how I achieved this is I just took the letters of grind here and the image of the mulcher, turned them into an SVG file and imported them into Tinkercad, and then just subtracted them from a rectangle. And you can actually see little lines here that I kept because there's some free-floating things in here. So I just put little lines there to keep everything in place. And then the cool thing is I just printed another rectangle of the exact same size out of the red transparent filament that I had. And then you can just set them together and they'll set in the tree just like this. And then when there's lights behind them, it'll shine through. And it actually gives a very cool effect. Then last but not least, as far as the tree goes, you need a topper. So for this, I just printed a giant crimson omen out of it and then printed a little cone-shaped thing to attach it to the top of the tree. It just sets on there, works really nice. And this one was actually kind of a happy accident. I started printing it and it failed about 3/4 of the way through the print. So most of it was there, but it was still doing the infill for it. But it actually looked pretty cool, and my wife thought that she could paint it and make it look even cooler, so I decided not to reprint it, and then we just went with that. She went through with some of her magic skills, and I think she used a sponge to get the red on the outside of the omen, so it's black, but it has a red tinge to it, and it's really cool looking. Those were the basic 3 things we did. Normally we have some like ribbons and stuff around the tree. We actually just bought a new tree because our old one was crapping out a little bit, so we didn't have time to fully decorate it. But I think with the topper and these little light ornaments and things like that, it really came together nicely. And so we're starting to approach the normal holiday season for most people here in the United States, where most people will be putting up their Christmas trees. So if you thought this sounded like a cool idea, I definitely encourage you to leave your tree up year-round. That way you don't have to worry about taking it down, putting it back up, all the hassle of that, and then just redecorate it. The transparent filament really goes a long way, and it's really fun to get other people to do this as well. Even if it's just a small tree that you stick somewhere, you know, it can be really fun. And if you guys do this, tweet me a picture. I would absolutely love to see what you guys come up with. And I have included the files I used here for the gears tree. They are free to download, link in the description. So if you wanted to decorate your tree like this, you certainly can. But really everything I did here came from SVG images like this one and even this Crimson Omen. So even if you're not an experienced designer, you can do something like this pretty easily. And if you would like me to go more in depth on how I did this so you can see how to decorate your own, I would do that. Just leave me a comment letting me know that's what you'd want to see. But I think this could be a really fun thing for the community to do. So we'll see. And then I did have one other thing that was Halloween related, but it wasn't Gears of War. I was thinking about turning this into its own video. But I wasn't super happy with the way it came out, but it still does look pretty cool, so I'm just going to tack it onto this video, and I'll throw the files out there as well if you wanted to do something like this. But basically, my wife and I had an idea to take these little tea lights that you can buy really cheap on Amazon and print a little jack-o'-lantern and see if we can get it to look pretty cool. So this is what I came up with. You can see I used the same SVG techniques to get that face in there. And I created the shape of this pumpkin, and I will upload just the pumpkin as well if you wanted to put your own image on there. And then you can see there is a hole right there for the light to go in. And the reason I'm not happy is this is just hard to print. It's not a good orientation or anything like that. I had to use a ton of supports and it was hard to clean out. So I think I can do better, and I'm definitely going to in the future, but I figured I'd just throw this out there for now. So we got these little tea lights. I'll put a link to these down in the description, but I actually would not recommend getting these. I thought they were going to be brighter because some of the reviews said they were decently bright, but and I don't know how well it's coming out on the camera there, but they're not bright at all. And then you can just slide these right inside, and you know, it works okay. But as I turn it, the light really only comes through where you can see the candle inside, and that's not ideal. So what I did, I actually printed a transparent white PLA, basically a little cup to go over top of it. And this just basically acts to diffuse the light and spread it out a little bit more. And I think it works great. Watch this. So you can see that it's much more evenly spread out there. And then this whole thing actually fits inside the pumpkin here. And now you can see that it's lighting up a lot better. So this could just be something kind of fun to decorate normal Halloween things with. And something to note here is that you can use other colors of the transparent PLA and get different effects. Alright guys, well if you thought this was cool, make sure you give it a thumbs up and get subscribed. I put out new videos every week. And then if you feel like it, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram. I'm at ChaosCoreTech. I post a lot of pictures of the builds leading up to the videos, so you can join me there if you want to. And then that's all from me guys. I'll see you next time.